So Great Furman translated the article again. I read it as it came out. The only thing he doesn't really translate or put into his Evernotes is the lore stuff. There's not that much because this character is kind of a spoiler. Up until the video, they've been really good about like trying to, I guess, prevent spoilers. That's one reason why I guess they held Roa and they held him. They don't want to spoil people who are reading this, you know? I don't know that much about him, but and they don't go into his story background too much. But apparently he's a foreigner. He's from the frozen northern seas, wherever that, I don't know. I look at him, I associate him with, obviously because of his naming convention, like Siberia, or he's like Russian or something like that. But his whole theme is like flame and ice. He shows up in some of the trailers in the remake and he's using like fire powers, but he also kind of has this like icy aura about him. So when you read it, what it says is he has two modes, right? He has this flame mode and he has ice mode. He's naturally kind of has this icy aura, but what he does is, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, he's a vampire, right? He takes blood and he draws heat from it and manifests it in the flame. That's the Dead Apostle, you know what I'm talking about. So they integrated that into his gameplay by making him, at first when I was first reading this, and shout outs to Great Furman again, always translating this for the people. When I was first reading it and they talked about his flame mode and his ice mode, I got, like Dormammu or Doctor Strange or like some kind of like, or like Nine from BlazBlue, like those kind of vibes, right? But it's not quite like that. It's a little bit different, but it's still kind of interesting, I think. Vlog keeps his opponents out with his strong projectiles and high power, long-reaching moves. He has these kinds of lots of ways to be able to flood the screen. He's a strong character who keeps his opponents away from him with various projectiles. He can attack from outside the opponent's range with his large knife. Furthermore, he has a fire mode and an ice mode, which change the properties of his moves. He starts the battle in fire mode, but when he is in dire straits and he's one round away from losing, he activates ice. So the properties of his attacks change, not based on a stance, not based on some character-specific meter, but literally, did you lose the round? Is it final? If it's final round, you go into ice mode, that kind of thing. His special move is the one named after fire, attacks with an arm of fire, and what they say is like he can change this one, whether it's horizontal, he has a diagonal version as well. I'm assuming in the air as well, he can probably point downward, but this is going to be used to keep opponents out in zone. Something else that they mentioned in the lore section was he has some kind of connection to Roa, and if you encounter each other, you could probably listen to their voice lines and stuff like that. They have character-specific dialogue, it seems. I don't know what that means for... anyway, y'all don't care about that. He has a version that goes horizontally and one that goes diagonally, allowing him to cut off his opponent. In ice mode, it becomes Kori Kyoku, like Memories of Ice or some shit, and shoots 3 icicles. So it transforms from one overarching arm into a 3-shot of ice. And here you see Roa doing lightning too, so it's like Pokemon battle right here. The EX versions of both moves have large range and cover a wide area, making them easy to use in attack strings. So you could probably go like, normal string into cancel into those projectiles, and it's that probably gives enough pushback to where you're still in an ideal range. This seems like the kind of character where you're going to want to be zoning out, you're going to be wanting to at least be mid-range to long range. So this is his kind of like Rekka move. So you have 2 options to close off, right? You can either go for a hit or a grab. He swings his blade at the opponent in... I can't read this. Somebody put this in Google Translate for me, or Bing Translate if you're that cultured. It's kind of like his Rekka move, right? You see him, I think, do it in the trailer, where one is a regular strike, and then the follow-ups are either an unblockable, unshieldable command grab or a strike. The strike will blow them away. So they go back, I'm not sure how far, but it pushes them back to where, he can kind of zone again, right? So you have the option, you have to pick. Do you want to get the touch on them? Do you want them to be back having to go through the minefield and be able to zone them again? Or do you think they're going to shield it and you can grab them or something like that, right? Wow, so it not only blows them back, but it wall bounces at the corner, so you get a combo pickup, damn. So the hit has pretty strong return, it seems. If the opponent is committed to blocking, use the grab follow-up. The EX version of this move is long-ranged, making it easy to use in mid-range strings. It launches the opponent, allowing for high-damage combos. So you can put meter on it, and you get a launch off of it, so you get even more combo return. Burdia means storm in Russian. Is that good pronunciation? Burdia? So this move, I thought this was interesting. This is like this grounded projectile flame wave, right? And of course, in ice mode, it turns into ice, obviously. So he shoots fire along the ground, but in ice mode, this attack hits full screen. You can stop opponents from approaching on the ground, but he has follow-ups. These follow-ups attack the opponent from behind, and it's a low. And it pops them up. It pops them up, I guess if you want to think like Exerd Bedman, when you hit the 2H or the 3H, how they kind of pop up towards you. So it's a low that if you get hit, it'll pop you into his direction so he can get a follow-up. The EX version of both moves are very fast and very strong, allowing for easy pickups even at long range. I think in the article it said that if you do the EX version, the pop-up effect will carry them even further. So if you burn the meter, let's say if you're full screen, maybe the pop-up hit, you won't be able to convert as easily. But off the EX version, maybe it pops them further. That's just the way it sounded reading it for me. Arc Drive. He burns or freezes his surroundings. This is a full screen super apparently. Since his Arc Drive hits the entire screen, not only is it good at converting off of his long range special moves, it's also useful at punishing the opponent from very far away. The move is also invul. So he has an invul full screen super. And his last arc, they don't describe because apparently it's something that happens in the story. So they say his last arc, he uses like some weapon, and it is reminiscent of some scene from the remake. So they say they don't go into detail on it. They just say please play the game if you want to see it. These are my favorite sections. I've said this for pretty much all the videos we've done so far. You know, it's fine to, I guess, kind of describe the character and just show off, you know, what they have or whatever. But when they go to these sections where they can tell you ways to apply that, I think this is a really good... Man, I really wish this was stuff that they would put out in English. When compared to the rest of the cast, Love is a particularly strong long-range character. Even if the opponent is a long-range character, he can control them in neutral with his powerful projectiles, stopping air approaches and using the flame and the ice, or stopping ground approaches with his fast, startup, long-range moon skill. Oh, so yeah, using the moon skill version of the flame waves, you could probably control the ground really well. Yeah, that's what you have to think about too when you look at these characters and their specials and the way they're described. Thinking about the moon skill application of this, because if it's just two buttons in a direction, you don't even have to do the input. You want to think like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, right? Literally just direction, button, macro. Cool. Eventually a projectile or attack will hit, and then he can start his offense from that knockdown. So here off the air-to-air touch, he juggles into the Rekka. For opponents who want to fight up close, he should use his sword normals in addition to his projectiles. His normals generally hit high up, allowing him to stop air dash approaches easily. So it sounds like he'll have like good answers for low altitude air approaches up close, because his attacks hit kind of high. That was something a lot of people talked about. I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I don't know. But they say his stature is very tall. So a lot of people are speculating early on like he's going to be susceptible to fuzzies and all this other kind of stuff. Maybe so. We'll find out. But they say he's big. Maintain your effective range and prevent the opponent from closing in. And here you see, yeah. I'm guessing this is... So this does not show Moon Drive activated. But this looks like Moon Skill version of the ice. Like, bro, how are 5 of these out? Like, that is, this looks obnoxious as fuck. God damn. And then, yeah, Moon Skill version of the slash. When Volv is losing, he enters Ice Mode. His Ice Mode specials, Kori Kyoku and Kiro Kyoku, are faster startup and faster projectile speeds than his Fire Mode specials. So in Ice Mode, the specials are faster. If opponents try to approach from the air, he can also stop them with his air unblockable Moon skill. This is air unblockable. And that leads into a full combo. Yeah, so it looks like the Moon skill version of this is air unblockable, so you can just check people. I guess it kind of uses like preemptive anti-air or something. Interesting. So again, if you guys want, I always put the links to this guy's stuff in the description. This is great for him, man. He's been doing this stuff for years. He's always very quick on the draw. I'm like at work or doing some shit, and then by the time this shit drops, and by the time I see it, he's already got these things translated. He's been doing this for years. So shout outs to, again, the great Firm Man. I'll put the link to all the stuff in below, and the link to the original. He's got the link to the original article too, which you can find here. This character looks pretty cool. I think he looks very Type Moony to me. You know, I'm not gonna say he looks like a uni character. That's not quite it. He looks more like he fits in Fate Go. You know what I mean? That's just what I think looking at him anyway. Let's watch the video. I haven't seen this yet. Wow, so yeah, he gets a follow-up off the grab, too? Oh, that's tight. That's tight. But what I'm thinking is, if you're going to learn this character, you're going to have to learn your fire mode combos, and you're going to have to learn your ice mode combo. Like, I wonder if there's going to be some stuff where the same combo doesn't work round 1 as it did round 2, and vice versa. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be like, you're going to have to go in training mode, specifically in training mode your ice combos. You know what I mean? Purposely throw the round, yeah, or you just training mode just ice. Throw the first round every time, and then just never lose in ice mode. Yeah, so they're showing off that this is, I guess that's diagonal, right? This is the diagonal version of the flame hands. And then he does, this was what they said was air unblockable. He does moon skill version of slash, goes with the strike follow-up, goes in a flame super right after. So you get good return on pretty much anything that hits. It seems like they get popped up and you can just do whatever after, you know? Alright, so here's his special slash. This time he does the grab and it shows off just what you were talking about. So they were expecting the strike follow-up. He does shield. What do you do? For Vlog, he does the grab version. Look what it does. Fatal counter. You pick them up. You get even another big chunk after, you know? This shit looks insane. What is that? So he gets clipped by the low here? So remember, the ice wave has a low follow-up, right? No, he gets clipped by the opening. But it's still combos. That's fucked up. So he hits him first with just the normal wave. The low follows up, pops him up anyway. He cancels in the drive. Ice crystals. Ice stomp again. You can probably do something. You can probably super after that. That shit's sick. Yeah, so that super has 2 versions too. There's one where it's all flames. The other one's where it's all ice. That's interesting. This is definitely one of the more, obviously this is a new character to the series. I think he fits in with the way this game is so far. I don't know. It's a weird, very appropriate kind of character, I think. And to be fair, shit, I guess outside of Roa, we've kind of been missing, I guess, that kind of like long, exclusively almost, mid-range, long-range kind of space control character like that. He definitely fits in, I think, design-wise. I think he's interesting. I just don't think he's for me. I don't think I am gonna win. But he looks cool. He looks unique. But what do you guys think? Talk to me in the comments below. Is this guy whack? Is he cool? I think he looks tight. I think design-wise, I think those people that were looking to tear down the game very early, not because of gameplay stuff. The gameplay stuff only popped up in the past week. You only hear people talking about gameplay shit with this game in the past few days. But for a long time, all I've heard, drip, 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 I'm just, here they fucking go, dude.